welcome to Motorcycle Madhouse Morning Mayhem, ya hooligans! Yes, I am living in Northern Illinois, the heart of where the weather is bipolar as hell. We had like 70s and 80s all week last week, and now we have snow. Yeah, time to get some lithium or something for this weather out there. Anyway, coming up in the second half, we have Howard Stern. What a sellout he is. But anyway, first, let's go to some news today. The Ohio police, yes, Popo, are looking for more information. There was a shooting outside of a clubhouse last year in September. They're still looking for answers out there. They haven't got any. I wonder why nobody talks to them. But yeah, here, take a look at this video. Learn a bit about this story.
Shot and killed last night. Police were called to East 5th and Osborne Avenue at around 11 o'clock last night outside of a motorcycle club. That's where they found 52-year-old Trevor Seymour, who had been shot. Seymour was taken to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. Police say 3 other victims went to the hospital after being shot as well, but they were treated and released. Anyone with information is asked to call Columbus Police. This is the 103rd homicide investigation in Columbus so far this year.
Okay, that is the story right there, but let's go and take a little deeper dive. NBC4.com out of Columbus, they are the Central Ohio Crime Stoppers, is searching for information related to a homicide outside a motorcycle club 7 months ago. I was going to say 7 years ago. Man, am I way off topic then. On September 24th, just after 11 o'clock, Columbus police found 52-year-old Trevor Seymour, and I believe we covered this one, in the 3400 block of East 5th Street, or 5th Avenue near Osborne. And he was taken to the hospital, but later died on that one. So they're still looking for more information on that one. But I do have to say the next story, wow. This is one that's been really going on since 2007, I believe it is. And it's been playing through the court system up in Canada. But it seems like the BC government, the British Columbian government, has finally succeeded in getting 3 Hells Angels clubhouses. They actually changed the locks yesterday, I believe, according to Kim Boland out of the Vancouver Sun. Sad state of affairs, man. Big legal fight against these governments. Take a look at the video.
Battle that's lasted more than 15 years, but now BC's highest court has ordered the forfeiture of 3 Hells Angels clubhouses. The notorious biker gang's properties in East Vancouver, Kelowna, and Nanaimo will now be seized by the province.
They've always used those clubhouses as silos where they conduct their criminal activity in complete privacy.
It all stems back to 2007 when the clubhouses underwent a series of police raids. In return, the Hells Angels fired back, filing a counterclaim. They won. In 2020, the BC Supreme Justice found there was a lack of evidence the clubhouses were used for criminal activity. That same year, the properties were returned to the motorcycle club. It was then the province's turn to fight back, launching an appeal of that decision last year. On Wednesday, the Court of Appeal's decision sided with the province. The ruling said the trial judge who made the decision to return the clubhouses to the Hells Angels back in 2020 didn't factor in previous criminal cases against several club members.
I think this sends a strong message under our existing civil forfeiture regime to criminal organizations, but more broadly, it confirms the direction that we're going.
BC's Court of Appeal decision found the Hells Angels outfitted the clubhouses to prevent the police from surreptitiously monitoring their activities. The clubhouses provided a safe space for members to conspire to commit or engage in crime.
It hurts them in the pocketbook. Financially, they're losing 3 residences. What's that? 10 million bucks at least, because they have very high-end security and all that stuff.
Global News reached out to the local Hells Angels spokesperson and called their Vancouver clubhouse, but did not hear back. Kamal Karamali, Global News.
Man, don't they look so giddy, the ones that were prosecutors and stuff? They were probably in diapers when this all started out. But now they have some kind of notch on their belt. We took down the Hells Angels. Yeah, It's probably what they're doing. Anyway, from Kim Bowen, representatives of the BC Civil Forfeiture Office, and we have them here in the United States. I think it's a big racket. It's always a big racket for these governments. A lot of that money, yeah, they say goes to victims. I don't believe that. It goes right back into their budget, if you ask me. Entered 3 Hells Angels clubhouses after the province highest court ordered the properties in Kelowna, East Vancouver, and Nanaimo forfeited for their links to criminal activity. One thing that's very interesting with this story, that they got all butthurt because there was all kinds of security and stuff, and they weren't able to monitor what was going on. And that pisses off the government more than anything, is when they can't figure out what's happening. Oh, does it burn their ass hairs when that happens? They just can't stay. They can't stand it. They really can't. Anyway, the land titles for the clubhouse is at 3598 East Georgia in Vancouver, 805 Victoria Road in Nanaimo. Whatever. You guys have the hardest names up there. And then in Kelowna was transferred to His Majesty the King on March 17th after the BC Court of Appeal ruling in February. Don't His Majesty the King have enough property? It's like, wow. Stop being subjugated. A king is so like 15th or 16th century. Time to get into the times. Anyway, the office director, Phil Tautel, said in an email that his staff went to clubhouses, quote, in order to inspect the properties and replace the locks. They were accompanied by law enforcement who were on site to keep the peace. Now, according to that Mr. freaking Wizard that was sitting on the video talking and stuff, it could be estimated that all 3 of those properties were about $10 million, which I believe, because it's expensive up there. And they had some kick-ass looking clubhouses, didn't they? Very nice clubhouse. It's not like the rundown ones of the old days. It's a really nice one. And I bet that they have a lot of good inside stuff. A lot of freaky stuff probably happening there. Anyway, we're going to go to the second half of the show right now with China Doll. We're going to be talking about Big Bird, Howard Stern, and how he is a sellout. And in members only, we're going to be talking about how to deal with sellouts. We'll be right back.
Join the INSANE THROTTLE Members Only Club on YouTube or Spotify and receive exclusive content Monday through Friday at 9:20 a.m. Central Standard Time. Your membership in the Throttle Club helps keep the show going strong. Tune in Mondays live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube for the Madhouse Monday Night Raw with Hollywood and Marco. Grab a beer or some wacky tobacco and sit back and bust the gut. Join us for the Beat Can Podcast live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. No subject is off limits, and get knowledge you can't get from college.